Hello there, I am the Biblical Translator, and I call myself that because I translate and paraphrase the Bible as I see it to make it more user friendly and easier for people to understand and relate to it today. Today I was thinking about hierarchy, and I was thinking about when John the Baptist was washing feet, and he said, somebody who's not even worthy to wash my feet is coming after me. And he was talking about Jesus. And to me, that is talking about hierarchy. There are always going to be people who are relegated a position that is higher than yours. Some people don't like that. Some people like to think that we're all equal, but we're not. You have the rich and the poor, and you have the weak and the strong, and we have different parallels. We have different skills. We have different attributes and competencies, and we are just not all the same. And there is a reason why there are slaves and slave masters. It's because there always somebody has kind of earned that position, rightfully or wrongfully. But people have earned the position to be in a higher position. And a lot of people, they do not like the idea of somebody lording it over them. They don't like the idea of managers. They don't like the idea of bosses. They don't like the idea that someone is better than them. And this is where humility comes in, and how we can learn from those people who are above us, whether we like it or not. None of us really want to be told what to do, and you do have some people who lord it over you and who are actually bullyish with it and actually unkind. And those are the people I believe will get their recompense at some point. But for the most part, we need to know that hierarchy is inevitable, and whether we like it or not, we need to respect hierarchy. When I'm at work, I'm not going to say I get peed off, but when they say to me, you're only an administrator, or you're an administrator, because they are higher level. And I feel like saying, oh, well, I'm good at this, I'm good at that. Where I am at work is not all who I am. But they have earned their place. And we had one person who had got through the ranks, and she hadn't got through the ranks in the way that was appropriate in that system. So what she had done is she'd been a good worker, and she'd managed to get up to a high level. But it reached a point where, when they changed leadership, she got found out, and it was deemed that she shouldn't have been that high up on the hierarchy, and they decided to put her down to where she belonged based on her qualifications. And that's what sometimes happens, when we are given talents, gifts, skills, money. It's based on how we handle it and what we can do with it. And you might be able to bluff your way through life, and you might be able to get to a certain level. But if you haven't gone through the stages, you're not going to last. People seem to think that there's always a quick fix. They seem to think that they can cut corners and still reach the top. Maybe if you're a singer, maybe if you are, even if you're a singer, you still have to work hard, but you have kind of natural talent. So it's not the same as somebody who wants to, reach a point of directorship in another company, not in their own company. When you say you're a director in your own company, it doesn't mean you've exercised any due diligence, doesn't mean that you've exercised any discipline, it doesn't mean that you've exercised anything that could give you those accolades. But when you work your way up through the ranks, taking step by step and increasing your knowledge, increasing your experience, and you've actually got up the hierarchy through dedication and hard work, it's a totally different feeling, and it's also one that lasts. Normally, when you are up the hierarchy and you've got there through, whether it's through academic qualifications or, like I said, due diligence, it normally lasts. But you do have some people who try to kind of work their way through the system and they get there. And those are the ones that normally do not like people above them. They do not like to have bosses. They do not like supervisors. They do not like line managers. They do not like anyone who tells them what to do. And that's because of their insecurities and because they do not wish to grow and they do not wish to learn. They think they know it all. And so when Jesus talks, when they talk about hierarchy in the Bible, and it's talked about so many times, and it says we must obey our rulers and we must obey the government, it tells us about obedience to those who are in a higher bracket or higher level than us. But yet you'll still have people who want to defy that, people who think they are good all by themselves. People who do not want to put in the hard work, people who do not want to humble themselves before these people for fear that they're going to disrespect them or put them down. And sometimes they do. But until you reach a certain level, those are the kind of things you will have to expect. There's no point every time somebody says something to you that you don't like, that you walk off or you can't handle it, or, sometimes you have to stop and think about, is what they're saying, regardless of how they're saying it, does anything they say have an element of truth? Is there anything in what they say that can help me grow? Is there anything I can benefit from this criticism, whether it's positive or negative criticism? Can I learn from it? Most people, providing they haven't got to the top fraudulently, can help you grow, even if you don't realize it. But you have to be open to change. You have to be open to learning. You have to look at all the little innuendos, what people are saying, how they're saying it, and take from each person what you can so that it can build you up. Hierarchies are just about steps. You take a step at a time. Some people are born into a hierarchy. Some people are not. If they're born into hierarchy, they don't need to take the steps. And I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but most people who are born into hierarchy, they have no empathy, no sympathy. They lack consideration, compassion, because they haven't had to go through that with other people. And it's like sole traders. They don't have to work with other people. They don't have to form teams. They don't have to develop teamwork. Some people are absolutely useless at teamwork. They do not want to listen. They do not want to combine efforts. They just want to do things by themselves. But then the funny thing is that those same people who want to do things by themselves don't want to be accountable for what they've done. They don't want to be responsible. They like to know that there is somebody ahead of them that they can shift the blame on. So all I'm saying is that when I was thinking about John the Baptist, saying to his followers that somebody bigger than him, not even worthy to wash, he's not worthy to wash his feet, that was about hierarchy. It's about giving respect where respect is due, and humbling yourself and knowing how to humble yourself when the need arises. Okay, so I am the Biblical Translator. I don't know what you think about that interpretation, but I'd be interested in your thoughts. So please share, subscribe, especially on YouTube. You don't have to do it on TikTok, but it would be really good if you could subscribe on YouTube so that my channel can grow. And thank you for listening.